facing off against Entity. Now, the interesting thing about what you're talking about is that there have been, so far, 3 Bane picks in this tournament. We hadn't seen a lot of it, but Liquid played it against OG and they won. Entity played it against TSM and they won just earlier today. And then yesterday, Liquid also played it. So they played it twice as they're going to run into each other. Tofu walking brazenly up the hill. They take away the ward, starting to be brought down quickly, and Tofu going to die. Katomi gets first blood. The trample, chase down, Bane in trouble, Fishman dead. And now also Ace trying to live through this one. Not enough regen from Celery to keep him alive. So a 2-for-1 start at the beginning, and Katomi being very happy, taking out the ward and a kill.
Yeah, he got a lot of farm there. So the good news of this is Stormer got a little, I'm looking at small details, like Stormer got a little more EXP there, so getting closer to that level 6 timing. And then also is, at least the mid laners didn't get the first blood, because that is the one lane. If you talk to anyone, it's like you don't want the mids to get first blood, because now they get closer to bottle, they can bully that matchup. It's going to be Katomi, he'll get like an earlier boots from this, which could make a difference as well. Either way, good start here for Entity.
And Entity does look like they're still going to be able to secure 3 bounty runes, as Toby is going to be chased back by his illusion. Took that thunderclap first for that battle, obviously, and everybody heading off to their respective lanes. But yeah, I just want to reiterate again, I was saying a lot of names and teams and all the rest of it. The big story, Bane undefeated in 3 games. We'll see if it's a 4th. And it, you know, on paper, seems kind of cool, that sort of dynamic of regen reduction.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what his skill build is going to be.
Yeah.
Right now he has 1 point in the brain sap, just for laning. I wonder if he's just going to keep it at that, or if he's going to... You have to get 1 point Nightmare, probably 1 point Brain Sap if you are going to max Enfeeble. But that's even just, like, thinking too far into the future. I'm very curious if he's going to do the regen reduction early on, or if it's just a late game play for him.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think that's... Oh, Toby? Taking a lot of damage there. Celery and Dyrachyo just playing together, finding the kill. Okay, that's not the way that I envisioned this lane going. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's Brewmaster's one of his flaws. He's really slow, gets ran down quite easy like that, doesn't have a lot of defensive, and in theory he should have some defenses there, but it just feels like every time you play this hero, you just get bullied in the lane super hard.
Right.
It's kind of why he's just going for the Vanguard build too. It's not an item that particularly you want on Brewmaster, but you need to be able to lane.
Dude, everybody's going Vanguard nowadays. I feel like I see this on all the offlaners.
It's basically because right now, and it's been this way for a while, just buying regeneration has been meta.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that Vanguard right now is the most cost-efficient regen. It used to be the Helm, where we'd see it every single game. We'd see offlaners just buy armlets, because at some point it was just so good. They'd buy the Helm of the Overlords, Dominators, but they got nerfed quite significantly in cost. So now we get to see a lot more Vanguards.
Well, strong stuff out of the offlaners makes it kind of tough for Dyrachyo to do much once he actually gets that, but as we saw, there is a bullying potential in here before that comes online, and they still have meta available. They do kind of depend upon just running people down because it's an IO, as up top, Tofu trying to contest this weird pull action going on, and with level 2, Fishman in the area, they're going to be there for the body blocks. Tofu.
Snowball.
A ton of trouble, does have shards to block them off. Fairy Fire walks away, and TP's from Watson. Oh my god. The very short range TP, it's enough to get the kill.
Yeah, that was interesting. So his TP is going to be on cooldown now, if they can somehow force him out with a level 3 Primal Beast. If he gets 2 points in that trample. Oh, he doesn't have Onslaught, so... Or Ace is just playing a lot more for his CS than anything else right now.
Is saving a point in case they do want to go on him there, but at least for now, it's like you said, it's kind of just chilling. All right, takes the 2nd point now.
I swear this Primal Beast is the most annoying hero to CS against. What these Primal Beast players do, they just sit on top of the creep, and you just can't click it. His model is just so big, he just sits on top of the creep, and like you accidentally have to click him, and if you click him, you proc his uproar. It's actually so frustrating to play against.
Dude, I hadn't even thought about that. That's really true.
Yeah, his model is absolutely ridiculously large, so he just sits on top of the creep. Dyrachyo bottom.
Yeah. A lot of damage onto him. Had that big stick. Katomi tries to back away. Toby, maybe they bit off more than they can chew. They're both in trouble. They're both going to die. Double for Dyrachyo. This lane is everything that he wants. 3-0-1 as a Terrorblade.
Yeah, if you look at Toby's golds right now, it's even more sad. He was so close to that Ring of Health. Dies before he can buy it. At this point, this Ring of Health isn't saving you. And this Vanguard is almost feeling like a distant dream at this point in this laning stage. As Dyrachyo has a full wave that he's going to farm on top of those 2 kills. That's not even a wave, that's a double wave.
Yeah. That is... I mean... Maybe they should have just pulled creeps or something. Like, I feel like there was this desire to try and, you know, play aggressive with this lane. We talked about the Cinder Brew, how strong all these things could be. But it almost like they took the fight too early. And, well, up top, Fishman going to be found. The Uproar Nightmare needs to trade it over. Does a good job of that one. And now Fishman in some trouble as the trample comes out. Is it enough for the kill, though? Not quite. Okay, the Onslaught. There's level 4. And Ace, on the other hand, well, I mean, the big body is good for blocking the denies, but they block you with the trees.
Yeah, and one lane we haven't talked a lot about. We saw the action there, but Ace's CS 20 and 10 to the 13 and 6 of Watson.
Wow.
This lane is not going good either. So now we have to look at the mid lane. How's this one gonna shape up here as level 6s are inbounding? I think 6-minute rune is gonna be what's really important. But at least the mid lane is somewhat stable here. Quinn with a slight advantage. And he's gonna be 6 soon. We see the scan coming in, but Tofu's coming. But Quinn, he needs to get a couple CS before he gets level 6 here.
Yeah, and gets it now. Stormer should... I mean, he's going to know that this is happening.
But what's this is what I'm talking about. You get level 6 with a catapult, and if you're not 6...
Just go on him. Spirit Siphon onto 2. Has sticks. Has Fairy Fire. Watson shows up, and actually, they keep enough heroes in the area that they manage to turn it. Stormer, he gets level 6 also. So they do manage to make a good counterplay, understanding what this move was. And they
brought 4 heroes.
Holy moly.
So they did stop it, but that one's kind of like at what cost did they stop it? Watson had to TP from the safe lane. His lane's done. You can't lane versus Ace anymore. He's got Vanguard available.
I'm curious what your thought is on this. We didn't really comment on it at all, but Death Prophet didn't go bottle, and I wonder if part of the survivability was just having these early stats that she did. Is that normal?
Both. No, I've seen both.
Okay.
So is it normal? Oh, they're gonna go on mid here, but he's going on too.
Yeah, Quinn just does Quinn things now. Yeah, that's a problem.
Entity look a little shook here. That was a very strange play, just bringing in one hero. Stormer didn't want to commit with the ultimate because he didn't have enough Spirit Siphons. I think that was just a bit of miscommunication, and now it's Leshrac time. Celery is going to play with this Leshrac. IO Lesh is now online, and this is going to be something they're going to have to put a lot of attention on. But even if they do put a lot of attention here, you're going to have to watch the side lanes to see how much farm are you going to get on Ace. How much farm are you going to allow Dyrachyo to have? You've got multiple problems right now. A lot of fires to put out.
Right, yeah, Watson is just forced to go back in jungle. They are going to Exo for this now and head towards mid with no glyph available. There's maybe an opportunity there. Toby's still trying to get towards level 6s. His support has completely left him, but Quinn coming back in here pulls the creep waves.
Bottom, maybe.
Yeah, Toby just dying to this combination. And now the rotation comes in from Watson. They're committing fully on to taking this tower. Spirit Siphon trying to survive through it, and it is going to go down. Deny from Celery. Wow.
Quinn with the tip there. The little IO right click getting the deny there. That's gotta hurt.
Interesting stuff, though. So, I want to talk about, I mean, I guess the bottle's not the biggest deal now, but DP does sort of feel a little bit tankier than we might otherwise see with all these stats.
Yeah, you do have the treads up with the Knoll. She went for Knoll instead of a bottle here. There is merits to this, and it makes sense. DP is one of the heroes you can run without a bottle if you want to, because you do have those Spirit Siphons to keep you healthy and sustain in the lane stage. So I don't hate this choice.
Up top, Ace gonna do Primal Beast things. Force him back for a moment, but Stormstormer now here. Spirit Siphon. Can they really do that much though? Yeah, he doesn't have another Nightmare, so we'll just live through that. And now Quinn is gonna make the move up top. Just everywhere that Stormstormer goes, Quinn feels like he shows up with the IO.
Yeah, there's a 3 siphons, almost 4 on this DP, so unless they chain stun this perfectly, that is not an easy kill by any means. I would favor DP in this moment right now over the left track, especially because Quinn's low mana, but they're gonna try.
Got one Spirit Siphon, looking for the turn. The Nightmare is there, in some trouble. The ulti, good dodge, step back. Stormstormer trying to chase this down, but do they have a way to stay on target? They don't have a Primal Beast. Keep them chasing after heroes. And so even though that looked like a good fight for Entity, they couldn't force it.
They were just baiting out the siphons. Now Stormstormer's in a situation where he has 1 siphon. He might have 2, but that's a lot better than 4. It's manageable, so this is a play for the future.
Fishman doesn't have any points yet in Enfeeble, and the pressure's coming. Katomi nearby. Has Exo back up in 1 second. If they decide to pop it, this fight, it's going in, but Ace is right there on top of him. The Spirit Siphon only had that 1 charge usable, and Quinn now standing toe-to-toe against him, but they don't have a way to break his TP. They just TP away, and another timing with 4 heroes top for Entity, while Gaming Gladiators just back out. They're off to a gold lead.
Yeah, quite a big one in 10 minutes here, and Toby finishes Vanguard. He just, what did he lose here? A mask. He has no boots here. Derachu does want to chase him down. So they're doing a good job stopping Gaming Gladiators from just running them over after the early laning stage here. The only issue that they have right now is going to be Derachu. He's going to be a super big problem at some point in this game, completely free farming. But luckily, Toby is level 6 now. So with his ultimate, I'd like to see them try and make a play on the next Exorcism to try and deal with Derachu right now. But will that be possible with Quinn having as good of a game as he's having right now? It's difficult. It's definitely difficult for Entity right now to figure out what they want to do. So I think they're just going to be on defensive mode, hoping that one of these engagements that happens, like in the top lane, they get a break where they get some Quinn kill in the trees. But for now, full defensive mode for Entity.
Wow, they tried to make the move in towards mid, and you can see why they really need to be playing more defensively, because it's a quick punish that comes in from Quinn. But smoke up. I mean, it looks like they're a little bit anxious to get the move going before Exorcism is even up. Yeah.
I think they're trying to just find Derachu bottom by himself with a grip. They would have the damage if he's completely alone. And I think that's a safe bet.
Stormstormer, they don't want to break the smoke with vision there. The wraparound coming. He's pulling the creep wave over to his hero, and that sets up for the grip. They move on in, find him there. Toby, the Cinder Brew. Is it going to be enough? Yes. Quinn makes the move in fact. And now with the sleep passed on over, Stormstormer trying to take down Celery. If they can get him, they would stick Quinn down here and he'd be stuck in the area. Celery just a couple away and he manages to get out. Hiding off in the corner. I mean, that could have been everybody gone. Could have been both of them.
It could have, for sure. It was a good move from Entity, right? You did get the Terror Blade. Unfortunate that they didn't get the IO there. That was really close, but that's what Entity needs to do. They need to claw their way, quite literally claw their way back into this game. And Toby has a very interesting item queued up here. He has no boots into a Spirit Vessel. Quite interesting. Very, very interesting game. It makes a lot of sense. You're playing versus the IO Leshrac. You do want a way of getting that reduction. And looking at Bane's build, 0 points in Enfeeble. He's going for the max Nightmare build. But he'll pick some up later. I think he'll keep Brain Sap at 2 points there. And then when you get more points into the Enfeeble, that gets up to, the heal reduction can get up to 60%. 45% for a level 1 point. So maybe a value point in that pretty soon might be on the cards.
Well, Fishman, he gets ran out a little bit. They steal away that bounty rune. And the rest of Gaming Gladiators inhabiting this area, trying to outfarm their opponents. The way that I feel like you're talking about it and the way that I'm sort of thinking about this game, it still feels like there's a lot of plays that Entity can make, but they need to sort of like hit their timings really strongly, not bleed too many kills and not lose too much of the map, which they're kind of doing, but they will lose Fishman here. The Bane goes down, Stormstormer barely out of range of those shards. And, you know, when Toby has this, the Spirit Vessel, it's coming out right now. So he's going to be able to disassemble the Vanguard, have the full Spirit Vessel done as as the Bloodstones complete it.
The best way to look at this game right now is Gaming Gladiators have hit their timing already. This is kind of how they're going to play. We just haven't seen much from the Terrorblade. He'll come in later. But there's a lot of play options for Entity yet to come. The Vessel coming out, potentially the Feeble, the Nature's Prophet getting more of like the Gleipnir. A lot of not a single Brewmaster ult has been used either this game, right? As well. So we need to see a couple of those later on, but you don't want to force it either, because this is kind of like the peak. Celery already has finished his mech at like 14 minutes in this game, or 13 minutes whenever he got this. They're really strong right now, and I think if you're Entity, you have to try and dodge this timing of Gaming Gladiators.
Well, they're going to need to make those dodges happen. They are still sort of making it work. Toby trying to get in towards his items, while Fishman is looking to set up maybe for another kill with the grip. Ace backs away up top from Stormstormer. Very hard to stay on top of that hero. And yeah, just farming, and Gaiman's doing it a little bit better. They're keeping this slight net worth lead into their advantage.
That's kind of what they earned themselves after having a good early game. Stormstormer still no points in silence either.
Ooh.
Probably wants to get that level 12, so this Exorcism goes from 8 spirits up to 16, literally doubles. Big time in the bottom lane.
They find him here, and that's going to be an easy pick-off. You talked about the setup potential from Tusk. It's easy to do. And they do have a stolen Lesh stun, which could provide some value a little bit later on here.
Level 4, too.
Yeah.
One of the best things you can steal is a Rubik here. The cast range on it. Very, very nice Rubik. You can chain stun, especially when you're playing versus a Terrorblade.
Just needs the shard now.
Yeah, if you want to make it really toxic. I don't think he's going to buy that right away here. And I don't think he's going to get the stun very often. It's just like something that happened in that fight up there. Quinn most likely will try toggling his ult so he won't get it again. But will they be able to use this? That is the question.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of have to in a way, right? Because, like, you need to get at least one of these kills to get the Spirit Vessel charges running. They're still waiting for these timings. Like, you've got Midas on Watson, AFK farming with Maelstrom. Fishman is going to find Ace up top here. He's waiting for him to head out of the trees. Drops it. Oh, they catch him just barely on the edge with the sentry placed down. And that is going to be a huge kill. Not in range for the Brew, unfortunately, as Toby was in the mid lane.
That was a beautiful play by Fishman there, dropping the Sentry Ward just to get him the vision into the fog, because the Sentry gives you a tiny amount of vision where you place it, just ever so much, so you can de-ward. And that was enough to see Ace and cancel his charge mid-animation.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. You love to see little small plays like that.
I mean, they need those types of moves because it's not an easy game for them at this point. 16 minutes in, it's 6,000 gold. I'll say that normally this is... Oh, wait a minute, mid. Tofu? Oh, this is huge.
Stun.
This is huge. All right, they get a Spirit Vessel charge on Toby now. They can play Dota, maybe. Can they? What do you think, Fear?
Yeah, they've been playing Dota. What are you talking about? This is Dota. No, this is good Dota, too. And I don't think they're going to make a big move until the Exorcism is back up. But they're also happy to play the map the way it is. They're getting kills. If they can find pickoffs, that's fine. You're not at the stage of the game where you want to group up as 5 anyway. You want to get more farm, more levels, more efficiently. So, Quinn...
Oh! They get it!
Right.
Relocate him out, though. Celery, able to get him out. We'll play.
He'll die for this.
Yeah. Katomi in towards
it's
mid.
Still going to be a kill.
Ooh, good stun.
That'll be his last stun there. Looks like the loses spell, but Celery, he's going to go down.
He even uses a Spirit Vessel charge there from Toby. A little surprised by that. But wanted to ensure they didn't have any way to escape from that. And Onslaught stolen.
Pretty good play for Entity. They got the Metamorphosis there too, and they stole Onslaught for the Rubik. They just lost the Split Earth, so it timed out. Good steal from him. We'll see how he can use this.
Dun, 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 dun.
But do you want to... Sorry, I was going to say, do you want to make a play now? Exorcism's up in 20 seconds. There's no meta. It could be a good timing.
Yeah. I guess, is there anything that they're really worried about? It would come in under the timing of Duracio's Scotty, which he is just about to complete 300 gold away. They're running towards mid for the fight, though. Although, do they counter out? Dude, look, they have an idea of where he's at. This is so big.
I see him.
Duraccio, he's so close. The onslaught, they find him. Lift up, trying to kill him off in time. Fishman, they break that grip, but they can't find anything to take off the silence. So 300 gold from Scotty, and now into Roche.
Yeah, and Duraccio going for a greedy build there, skipping the Manta, so he couldn't take off the silence, going straight for the Scotty, which is definitely going to be nice there, but is this the type of game where you want to be greedy? As Gaming Gladiators, you have a good lead. Now you're going to lose Roche. This is a comeback from Entity here. Like, sure, you're still pretty happy if you are Gaming Gladiators, but they haven't had anything work for them in the past, what has it been, 5 minutes now? It's been all Entity.
Yeah, I mean, you see a couple pickoffs here and there, but it hadn't been that, like, you know, full-out move. And I think the thing to me that's most interesting about this game and sort of the more meta around it is this is like Gaming Gladiators' bread and butter. This is the thing that has terrified so many teams into forcing out a first phase IO ban or Lesh ban or what have you. And they're coming up with answers for how to beat it, and it's not looking terrible. As I say that, Stormer might just die in the mid lane, or he might live through it all. Toby gets the ulti off with nothing! He had no HP left at all! Unreal. And now the turn, it comes around. Katomi finds the bash onto Quinn, but they don't quite have the damage. So they will end up backing away and surviving through that while keeping the Aegis, but Toby does end up dying. Okay, never mind. It's all gone downhill. They didn't have the damage. They needed to just run away, and Gaming Gladiators... Okay, I cursed them. I cursed them.
Yeah, I think without the Exorcism, they can't take these fights into the IO. And we see the Bane. Everything we theorycraft of like, oh, they put Bane, they're going to go for the Enfeeble. 0 points in it. He's not even putting... watch him, like, go stats now or something just to spite us.
You know what it is?
But I feel like getting a point in that could be really good for them against this IO Lesh. It could have made the difference, potentially, if they just wanted to all in, but without it, it's kind of impossible. Stormer.
Yikes.
World of pain right now. Scotty's online.
Dude, it was looking so good for them. And now it's not. And Toby, he doesn't have ulti, but he's running in. Stormer going to get dismantled. They will find Watson to boot, and all the things that were going good. Celery's like, guys, I think I found a little Toby over here. Moves on in, connects, asunder to regen, and then the kill. Gaming Gladiators. They are too strong. Oh, man. Entity, they were right there. They had it all figured out. They had Aegis. Just wait for
I think more than anything, Gaming Gladiators figured out what they were missing. And that was playing as a team. They're just like, we've been ahead this entire time. We got picked off for 5 minutes straight, as Bane's going to die in mid lane here too. How about we just play together? Let's try that. And they tried it, and turns out that works out pretty well.
That's fair. Good point.
And I believe just the timing was what they're waiting for of the Scotty. And we saw once that Scotty was online, how little chances DP has to do anything in this game. Once you pop meta from Duraccio and you're Stormer, you want to run, but you can't if you get hit a single time by this Terrorblade. And don't even think about running into the fights anymore. It's going to be straight up impossible.
Oh, yeah, I know. I feel like the avenues for this to sort of come together. I mean, they have to play around EXO, and that's sort of the problem for Entity. You have that like one really solid fight. And then everything kind of falls apart there. And then when you run in afterwards, everybody just dies immediately. Like you're saying, you can't get away from the Scotty. Game just feels very difficult. And now they're kind of stuck in these like small areas of the map. And Gaming Gladiators just can hold on to everything. Double Blink Daggers, Tofu Ace.
So we talked about we want to see Entity play the map somehow. And it's not going to be through team fights. They're just going to lose every single team fight. So they're going to have to find pick-off opportunities, which isn't going to be the easiest, but if they can jump someone right away with the grip before you can respond with the relocate, because there is a channeling time on that relocate. It's 3.25 seconds. So if you can kill some ace or something like that before the relocate comes in, the Exo's running, that's going to be your avenue for Entity. But straight on 5 vs 5s when meta's available, pretty much impossible now that Duraccio has... Oh, he's got a BKB now.
Oh my god.
I think that's what makes the 5v5s impossible here. Good luck locking him down before he presses that BKB.
Well, they are... well, first, Gaming Gladiators ran away from Entity, and now they are going to do that strategy you talked about, which is playing together. Quite a good one. And they are going to run right into them. Spot Toby off to the side. Spot Stormer all alone. Blink, stun through, jumps the back line, finds, kills Fishman. Toby does get the ulti off, but I do not believe that is going to matter one little bit. The Sprout is there. Watson gets Toby killed. I mean, he was dead anyways. But yeah, ended up sprouting his Brewling, and well, they're high ground now, and I don't think Gaming are going to leave. I think they are staying high ground. And Duraccio, in fact, he might end up in the fountain, depending upon how this is going. They do have a Nightmare try to salvage this. The catch is there, but Ace just backs away. Stolen Trample, it's not going to be enough. Even killing Couriers off in the well. So with everybody gone, GG's called 24 minutes. Yeah. They missed their timing.
I mean, they didn't. I don't know if they had a timing necessarily this game.
Fair.
They kind of got slapped in every single lane. They were on damage control in the mid lane. Straight up lost both side lanes horribly. The Brewmaster just didn't have much of a game.